Hello there, it's John again. I just want to take a moment here and talk about something that I think other people will enjoy. And that something I think other people will enjoy is the movie Studio 666. It is a movie story by Dave Grohl and starring Dave Grohl and the rest of the Foo Fighters, as well as Whitney Cummings. A couple other people you'll recognize probably, I'm sure, as well. And when I saw Foo Fighters make a horror movie, I'm like, yes, I'm going to see this. Because at the very least, I figured it would probably be at least somewhat entertaining. You know, some of their videos were kind of fun. Dave Grohl seems like a laugh. I've seen them in concert, and they were fun. But you know what? It's legitimately a really good movie. It's really funny. There's some just stupid, ugly humor in it. There's some, I guess higher level sort of humor stuff in it as well. So it's really funny and entertaining that way. But honestly, they do a really good job with making kind of a horror movie out of it too. Like there's tension building and like the pacing of it's pretty good. And there's some like really gross stuff and some really like gross kills, but funny kills as well. So they hit a lot of, they tick a lot of horror boxes that are pretty good. And it's funny. It's nothing like super like this is going to break the world or anything, because honestly, ostensibly, it's Foo Fighters remake The Evil Dead in a lot of ways. But you know what? It was entertaining and it was fun. I mean, it's a good horror movie and it's a funny movie and it's a fun movie anyway. If you like the Foo Fighters, you're going to like the movie, because it's just, they're not great actors. Like Dave Grohl actually does a pretty good job, and a couple other people have good moments. But overall, we're not talking about, it's not a troupe of the greatest comedic actors or anything else like that. But, it's funny. It's like there's an opening scene of murder, and then there's like it starts off with them in their manager's office, like kind of having a conference meeting about their next album, which is going to be their 10th one. And it needs to be a big deal. And Dave's feeling stressed about making the songs and everything. But just the meeting with their manager was really funny. And I'm like, all right, this is setting a good pace. And it kept on rolling and it kept on going from there. There are a lot of really, really blatant, I'm talking about blatant product placement, like unabashed product placement. And that's it kind of made it part of the humor almost. It's like it just really, it was like a subtler version of when like Wayne's World was kind of making fun of product placements, but obviously we're, getting money for that too. It was a little bit of a subtler version of that, but it's still kind of along that way too. But I mean, there was a lot of like just goofy, funny stuff. There was some good horror elements. The pacing of the horror elements and the buildup of it went pretty well. The ending, for me, I was like, I wasn't sure kind of where they were going to go with this in terms of the ending. Like, how are they going to make it like a really happy ending? Or are they going to go like completely like everyone's blown out and devastated? Kind of a mix. But the way they did it was actually, it was well done. It was well done. Like there was clearly, as much as it looked like it was probably like kind of just a laugh to make, and it says, story by Dave Grohl. And as much as it sort of looked like, all right, this is just going to be something goofy or fun that we're going to make or something like that. there was still seriousness in making a cogent movie. You know, it wasn't just like a we're just gonna fart around and find out and just kind of dick around with it or anything and just, oh, okay, whatever, however this ends is however. No, like they worked to make a legit movie. And like I said, it was funny and it's a good horror movie. Like, I'm looking forward to owning it. Like, I'll buy the Blu-ray of it. And I'm looking forward to owning it. I'm looking forward to, like, I'll probably make this part of my sort of like rotation, especially during like Halloween, because it's like I'll watch Lost Boys like 3 times a year, you know, and I'll have, you know, streaks where I'm like, I really want to watch like a lot of horror movies, not just around like autumn. So there's usually a period of time in the summer where I get like a stretch of horror movies in. That's usually when I usually start with Lost Boys. Sorry. And in the autumn, I usually start with Trick or Treat. But I think I'm going to add this into my sort of rotation. Like, I enjoyed it like that, where it'll be in my rotation. It'll be fun. I'm trying to get like other people to see it who I think might like it, because I think it came out last week or a week before or so in the cinema, and it was, you know, in there this week, and next week's probably going to be the last week for it, I'm guessing, if I'm looking at the show times correctly. And when I saw it, there was only like one other group of people, of like 4 or 5 people. So there's like 5, 6 people in the entire auditorium thing that was in watching it. And it was kind of sad, because it was like, you know, I hope it did well in the theaters, because honestly, it deserves to do well in the theaters. And I know, like, coming out late February, early March is kind of not a great time for things to come out. And this is the opening weekend of the Robert Pattinson Batman movie. I made a concerted effort to see Studio 666 in the theater and not the new Batman movie, as voting with money is the only actual voting that really counts. And that's kind of where, like, I was like, we don't need it. To paraphrase Tina Turner, we don't need another Batman. I understand, like, I heard some people say it was really, really good, but a lot of people are really, really going nuts over the Christopher Nolan ones, and quite frankly, they kept getting worse for me. And I like Christopher Nolan in general, except The Prestige. The Prestige is awful. But I don't like his Batman movies, and it's disappointing, because I think Christian Bale could have been the best Bruce Wayne and Batman, you know, combo we've had yet. So there's a lot of potential that just seemed kind of go right up, smoking right up Christopher Nolan's ass. It's kind of what it seemed. And again, I like most of the Christopher Nolan movies I've seen. But yeah, so I wanted to kind of vote with something I thought was going to be more interesting and more fun. And I don't know if it was more interesting and more fun, but damn it, it was interesting. It was fun. I love the Foo Fighters are good as a band. Dave Grohl seems real cool. Everyone else seems really cool. And yeah, it was just a good movie. I hope more people see it. And, you know, maybe if this last week or week or two or whatever it's in theaters, maybe it doesn't do great. Hopefully it does end up getting the following it deserves. You know, sort of like Trick or Treat, or some of these other movies that maybe got slept on in the theater, but eventually found, you know, like a streaming or you know, video cult following or something like that. It deserves it. All right, that's all I got for that. Studio 666, Foo Fighters. Catch it.